I'm Victoria Cooksey, and this is Random Dish. I just got back from the grocery store where they had a great price on live lobster that I couldn't resist. So I'm going to show you what to do with the live lobster once you get it home, how to cook it, how to disassemble it. It's going to be a great, easy lunch. Where I'm at, they do it just like this. They put ice inside another bag. They put the lobster on top of the ice, and then they put slits in the bag so that lobster gets oxygen. The cold keeps the lobster really nice and calm. And you just bring it home like this in a sack. The minute you get it home, put it in the refrigerator and keep it there till you're ready to use it. And I typically am going to use it within a couple hours of bringing it home. What you're going to do next is get a big pot out, and you're going to bring some water to a boil. I know with my Dutch oven, the size of it, I can put 1.5 pounds lobster in it, no problem. But any bigger, I need a bigger pan. If you're going to do 2 lobsters, you're going to need a bigger pan. So just kind of look at the size of the lobster and judge if it's going to fit before you start. Then you're going to take the lid off once it's at a boil, put in a teaspoon of salt, and just cover it, keep it at a boil till you're ready to use. I've taken the lobster out of the bag. I always wait to do this until I'm ready to cook it, because when it is off the ice for a minute or two, it does start moving around. So I like to do this right when I'm ready to put it in the water. To pick it up, you just reach in behind and pick it up just like this. You're going to put it in the water and let it cook 6 to 7 minutes for 1.5 pounds lobster, which is what this is. If it was a little bigger, I would add 1 to 2 minutes of cooking time. Also, I like to keep a pair of tongs nearby, because if it is moving around, you may need that to help you get the claws in the pot. So just kind of be prepared for that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the water. While the lobster's cooking, we're going to make a quick dipping sauce. Very simple. We're going to grate the zest off of a lemon. Put that into a bowl with 1/3 cup mayonnaise. Get all the stuff from the back. And just a teaspoon or 2 of lemon. Just go ahead and squeeze it right on in there. About half of a small lemon. And whisk that in and set it aside until you're ready to use it. To remove the lobster, you're just going to use some tongs, kind of let the excess water drip off, and then put it onto a cutting board to cool. And just a little quick word to the wise. See these rubber bands? You want to leave those on until the lobster's cooked. Then you remove them. And now it's time to disassemble Pierre here. Okay, we've got 2 different ways of doing this. If I wanted to be fancy, I could put the knife tip right here and cut this down the back. And then each half would be in a piece of shell. It makes a really pretty presentation, but it's very hard to eat. So we're going to go a little differently. You're just going to pick this up, and don't be afraid, some juice and stuff's going to come out. And you're just going to twist. You want this cool enough to touch, but still a little bit warm so it pulls apart easily. Then you're going to come and just go ahead and take off the claws. You can also take off the legs and later on use a toothpick to pull out the meat if you're so inclined. I usually save that for me for a little cook's treat. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of juice there. Don't be afraid of that. Okay, I'm just cracking bits of this shell off. You're going to pinch the tail and gently wiggle it until it comes out like that. Sometimes it's easier than others. And then there's a little bit here that I just kind of take off. Okay, and you're left with your tail, which we can cut in half. Okay, I'm just going to cut this tail right in half, and that's how I'm going to serve it. 1/2 per person. Take the claw, we're going to hold it, we're going to break this joint back. We're going to break that one again. It can be a little sharp at the points there, and just kind of push out the meat. That one came out in 2 pieces, but this other one came out whole. To get the meat out of the claw, back of the knife, go to town, give it a spin, give it a whack. Ready? Juice squirts out, turn it over again. Break the shell, kind of jiggle it until you can get it to bust. Okay, and carefully wiggle. Lots of juice comes out. Take the little claw and you just kind of break it and give it a twist, and hopefully that little bit comes out. And there you have a whole claw. So these little sharp bits are pointy, so do be careful. Sometimes if they're extra sharp, I'll use a paper towel between me and the hand, but this one was pretty good. And if there's any little bits of shell or white bits, you just kind of brush them off, or you can use a paper towel just to make them look pretty, and set them aside so you're ready to use them. And just real quick, when I take the legs off, I just break them at the joints like that, and you can use a toothpick or a skewer to push the meat out. But I tend to do that for myself. But if I had a whole bunch of them, I don't know how ambitious I would be, if you know what I mean. So proceed at your own caution. Presentation is very simple. Just get a basic plate, put a couple little pieces of lemon, have your lemon mayo dipping sauce. One lobster is going to be enough for 2 people, so for each person you're going to give them half the tail and one of the claws. And what's great about this is you can serve it cold, so you don't even have to worry. You can do in advance before they get there, and then that way you can clean up all that lobstery mess. This is so easy and so good. I'd love to stick around and chat longer, but I'm having Pierre for lunch. Au revoir.
What you going on about?